in front of me doing? Oh yeah, Black Sun and the Hizzle, oh the shizzle dizzle. We got an excellent lineup today. Um, of course, we want to start with Trevor and Yanga. We're gonna have on on Champions Quarter on Tuesday at 6. So hopefully we can get um, Asar and Ak Malak on the show. So we definitely want to discuss the new or return, the return. Yo, what's up, twin? The return inductees, the return of these debaters, including myself. So we definitely want to get that underway. And we're going to possibly, twin, how was my setup? And we're going to possibly get might get a pop up show from me. I don't know. Hey, Zanzi, what's going on? Hey, how's it's not breaking up, is it? Let me know if it's breaking up. What's up, Zanzi? So yeah, we're gonna do a pop-up show and possibly throughout the week. I don't know what day, I haven't decided yet. And then we're gonna have Nature Mom come back on because she was having issues. Will you fucking go? Oh my gosh, what is wrong with these truck drivers this morning? Left, right, what you gonna do? Left, right, there's nobody in front of you. Yes, okay. You go to left, I mean I'm gonna go right. So, um, yeah, we're gonna have Nature Mom calling on back on because she was having technical difficulties. They're doing FIFA over in hey, Poetic Empress, how you doing, babe? How you doing? Um, hopefully you can join us on Nature Mom's show when we get Rule Breaker on. I want y'all to have a discussion because you've been to Saudi Arabia before. She wants to move to Saudi Arabia, so um, Nature Mom can only give her what she knows about Saudi Arabia from the perspective of Qatar. But you've actually lived in Saudi Arabia, so yeah, maybe y'all can have a conversation about that because I don't know. Um, I really don't know if Rule Breaker knows what a theocracy is. So I want to have that conversation. Well, I want you to have that conversation with her and we're going to talk, just talk about Saudi Arabia. Hopefully, we can do that this Saturday if Nature Mom doesn't have anything else lined up, and if she can get Rule Breaker on, that'll be great because, yeah, I think that's a conversation. I think we need to start learning about the countries. If we decide we want to move to another country, we need to know everything about that country, their laws, their customs, what they, um, you know, um, yeah, I think we just need to learn. Kind of like, the ah, let me just say this. We just need to learn the laws of those lands if we ever decide to move to those countries. We need to learn the ins and outs, the good and the bad. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I hope my reception is good, y'all. I'm assuming it's good because my data restarted. So I hope I'm giving y'all good reception. And yeah, and this truck has his emergency lights on, so he's broken down. So I will go ahead and make a turn. And now you want to go? You dumbass! You dumbass! Wow, people be doing some odd, weird stuff out here. So yeah, should be okay. We'll let you know. Okay, so she said it should be okay if there's any problems. She'll let me know. Okay, thank you, Empress. And Empress said, "Isn't USA practically a theocracy now?" If you want to say a satanic theocracy, then yes. Um, as far as the United States, we honor and pay bands like Behemoth, Slayer, Autopsy, Napalm Death. So yeah, if you talk about that kind of theocracy, then yes, you know, um, those bands make us the most money, and have some of the largest attendance. So America is a whore to whoever brings the most money. So right now it's Satanism. It's the or the bands that portray to be Satanists. So yeah, in that sense, I don't know. It's more of a monocracy, a moneyocracy than a theocracy. But yeah. So audio is superb. Oh, thank you, Twin. I'm so glad it's superb, and the video is superb too. I hope. I hope the video is just as superb as the audio, because, like I said, they reset my data, so we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. So hopefully, I can give y'all lineup announcements every week smoothly without any interruptions. So I'm going to count the data. So anywho, yeah, uh, I want Poetic Empress to have a conversation with um, Rule Breaker before she decides to move to Saudi Arabia. I think it's a conversation honest conversation, and I know Poetic Empress is going to give her honest perspective because she's been in that country, and yeah, we go from there. Because yeah, I don't think, like I said, I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. So Empress is an intelligent sister. Rule Breaker is an intelligent sister. So I think, yeah, I think that conversation is definitely one that needs to be had on the arena because, yeah, that's a big move. And I don't want people living here in the U.S. to have a perspective of how the U.S. run and think they can go over to Saudi Arabia with that same perspective. So I just want to make sure if that move is being made, that Rue has the proper perspective of that country and of how that plays into her lifestyle, her whatever her perspective. It will be an honest perspective as it's a tough country. Oh, really? You don't say, Empress. And that's why we need you to have that conversation with Rue. That's why we need you to have that conversation with Rue for that reason right there. Because you've been there. You've been there. You live there, and you know about that country very well. And so yeah, you have to take off Western hat and start again practically. Thank you, Empress. Thank you, Empress. Oh, this is going to be a good show. Empress, if your schedule allows, and hopefully Rue will show up and y'all have that conversation, it is going to be a great show. It's going to be an eye opener for a lot of people. And it's not just Saudi Arabia, any country you move to, any country. Because let me just say this as a person in America that's been other countries, the United States has the most lax laws in the world. Okay? They have the most lax laws in the world. And people might say, oh, well, Black Sun, the United States has the highest incarceration. That's because other countries kill people. Did y'all hear that? Other countries just kill people. That's why their prison population is so goddamn low. Some of y'all, that went over y'all heads, but I'm going to leave that alone. I'm gonna let that sink in. Let that sink in. So, okay, so y'all, that's the lineup for this week. I might do a pop-up show. I went to an old friend's house yesterday, and we had a surprise birthday party for his mother. Shout out to Christopher Gonzalez. Shout out to the Gonzalezes. And I had an old friend DJ there, and we had talked some politics yesterday. And yeah, we talked about some things. We talked about Trump, and I was surprised because DJ was the last person I expect to talk about Trump in a positive light. But he's like, man, it's all about the economy. He don't give a damn how racist is he is, this and that. We got to get this country back on the economical track. So I might have DJ come on if his schedule allows him. Let's see. Yes, I agree. Having been around the world, America is severely lacking when it comes to legislation. And not well, Empress, in all fairness, the United States was built on people who were rule breakers. Let's just keep it real. George Washington, um, Adams, Mr. Adams, um, Benjamin Franklin. I mean, this country was built on rule breakers and criminals. And so, yeah, it is what it is. And so, because we're born into a country that were founded by these type of people, we have a very, yeah, we are very anti-theocratic. And it's cool for people who, damn, how can I put this? America is definitely for Americans. Let me just say that. America's definitely for Americans. So, yeah, like you said, Empress, if you take on, I don't know if you have time. Don't know if you have time. This is really just an announcement, but I will drop. I don't know if you have time, Empress. Plus, my connection is not the greatest in the world while I'm driving, even though they said it reset my data. Um, Let me just say this. Yeah, you definitely have to put on a new hat. So um, that's going to be a discussion how we put on new hats for different countries, especially if you think about leaving the country. So, hey, um, like I said, I definitely want to see Rue and I definitely want to see Empress. And I definitely want to see them and two intelligent sisters have that conversation. I think that would be beautiful, because like I said, the last show I had where Nature Mom had Rue and Empress on, we talked about how your language plays a big part in um, how successful you are in life. So we want to take that to a different level and see if y'all can put on different hats. And we got a guest. Hey, Empress, how you doing, babe? Empress. All right, Empress, you can come on anytime. I believe.
Hi,
Uh,
can you hear me?
hey, yes, yes, can hear you, Empress. Yes, yes, yes.
This will be quick, but yes, that should
Okay.
be an interesting show with Rule Breaker. I look forward to that. There's lots of information on that, and she seems like a tough cookie anyway. So I'm sure whatever she decides to do, she will be absolutely phenomenal.
No, I agree. I agree with you, Empress. But moving from the United States to a theocracy is a drastic change, and I know you can vouch for that. Not saying that she won't be phenomenal, but I
Yeah,
just know that
absolutely, because you're dealing with, how should I say? Well, let's put it this way. When I was first there, economically, US was at the top as how they regard you in your economic status. Then it was the UK. Then it was the other countries. Blah blah blah. Now I don't know if things have changed in that respect with how the US dollar has, the value of the US dollar. However,
uh-huh.
if she's got the skills that she can bring to a role which they view as being very useful, that she can be highly compensated for, she should be fine.
Okay.
However, when you go there, you have to definitely bear in mind that you are entering a different culture, a culture that you have to live in, in terms of
Yes.
how you are viewed as a woman of color, blah blah blah. However, this was my attitude. I'll put it like this: when I went over there, I didn't care. I was just me. You took me as you found me, right? But here's the thing: as long as you know how
Yes.
to respect as their values in terms of their work culture. If you can get used to the work culture, that is a lot of the issue, the problems out of the way. Then, so after the
Okay.
first 3 months, you deal with the work culture. If you can decide within those first 3 months or so that you can hack it there, you should be okay. Because I'm telling you, when I went over there, the amount of people who left in the first 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, the high turnover was like, whoa, there's gonna be nobody here, right? So it's definitely because obviously you're going for the work culture, aren't you? So sorry, you're going for the work, you're going to be compensated. But yes, if you can get used to how they work, which
Uh-huh.
primarily is taking, you're not working so much with the forceful, the initiative that you would do in the West, where you just bam, 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 bam. No, now you have to sort of collect your thoughts, and
Right.
they like you to, you have to work in a way where you give them impression that you're letting them be the boss, basically. Even though you know what to do, you can't sort of let them feel that you're in control of them and you're bossing them about. They definitely like that hierarchy of, we are your boss, blah blah blah.
Okay.
But they are friend. So we can talk about this more on, is it on Saturday in more
Okay.
detail. But you
Okay.
can, depending on your personalities and how you are as a person, you can work with it. Whether it just depends on the personalities that you're working with,
Okay.
um, how conservative they are. Because you get some who are quite, they've been to America, they've traveled the world a bit, they're a bit more open minded. It just depends on the mindset of the type of managers that you will get. And
Okay.
then once, so those first 3 months, if you can navigate through the working culture and settle into how they like to do things, because they do like to do things in a different way. There's lots of red
Yes.
tape, there's lots of bureaucracy, and things have to be signed off and blah blah blah. Because what I was used to was that in the in the West, you get things signed off like boom, 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 boom. Whereas over
Yep.
there, it can take maybe a bit longer, right? So you have to be patient in that regard. But as I say, the first few months definitely will sort of like, when you hit the ground running, or if you can hit the ground running, it might be on the first plane out there, but you know what I mean? If you can get used to the first 3 months, that will sort of give you a good
Okay.
idea of if you can hack it. And then after that, it's working with, the social culture, building a
Yes.
network of friends and keeping busy with activities and traveling and things like that. So those are the two main things, because definitely the work culture, get that under your belt. If you like it, obviously you stay. If you don't, you think, no, thank you, you're on your way back home or wherever. And then
Yeah.
you deal with the social culture, all the obviously when they're a buyer, when you're off camp, because on camp you're free as a bird. You can, you wear Western clothes, you can do what you want to a certain extent. But it's just abiding by the rules of when they're a buyer, sometimes the headgear if you're going off camp. But it's the main thing is the work culture, which I'll talk about a bit more in on Saturday. Once you get that
Okay.
sorted, you're away. But if you're coming there to, and I'm sure this is not how rule breaker, then it's not for you. Do you know what I mean? So yes, yeah.
Right. So here in the U.S., I'm just going to put this out there, Empress. Women, they socially drink. I mean, how's that work over in Saudi Arabia?
Yes, socially drink. Yes, okay. Yes, people do drink, but it's very much, how should I say, undercover. Um,
Undercover?
yeah, because it's not accepted. It's not. Yeah, people do. People say, "Oh no, we don't drink," but they do. People make their own brews, should I say? You
Is
know,
that legal? Is that legal?
yeah. But really, but what you are supposed to do? I'll put it this way: what you are supposed to do, Blackson, you're supposed to travel to Bahrain and enjoy yourself there with the beverages, the wines, blah blah blah. Then travel back to Saudi Arabia
Uh,
and be the little angels. It doesn't work that way. Like most times, people will sneak in alcohol, which they're not supposed to do, because you will be,
uh,
it's a very serious issue if you are
I don't
caught.
like it
But
already,
no,
Empress.
there
I
are
don't like it
people.
already. I don't like it already. I don't
So
like this
no, no,
already.
no.
I already don't
That's
like
right.
this. You say people are sneaking, so apparently it's. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yes.
I
No, you
don't
can't.
like it already.
I mean, people were
I
making
can't wait
their,
to have his. Yeah,
the home brews. People were making those, and some of them were awful, and some of them were
right,
absolutely not too bad. But no, as a rule, there is no alcohol allowed on the camps. And what you are supposed to do is travel off the camp to somewhere like Bahrain or wherever, and then have your alcohol and blah 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 blah. So you can imagine, like on a Thursday afternoon, everybody's traveling out, over the causeway to Bahrain. Bahrain, it was jam packed because
right,
people, especially the Westerners, want to go over there, and I suppose some of the Muslim people, I have to say, come on, to enjoy themselves. You know what I mean?
right.
It's large. It's not. No alcohol is supposed to be drunk there, but
Oh,
people
so
do make
no
their own.
alcohol is supposed to be consumed in Saudi Arabia.
Yes,
It's illegal.
right.
So it's a double illegal for a woman to drink alcohol.
Well, no, it's just the same as if it is a man. But I'll give you the
I know.
scenario, which is why I think it's important for women, because when I was there, it was a British woman, a British Caucasian lady. She
Hmm.
tried to smuggle alcohol from Bahrain to um,
Wow.
Saudi, and she was deported. It's a serious
Okay.
issue. It's a serious thing. And the same with like pork. Somebody tried to smuggle it from, out of Saudi into Saudi, and they were deported. So it is a very serious issue. It's no joke.
Right.
But
Right.
people have ways of working around it because, of course, people have their parties, and there's
No,
alcohol
no,
there. So how do they get
Empress,
the
no.
alcohol? But
We don't want
that's
no
the thing.
workarounds. We don't want no workarounds in Saudi Arabia. We don't want
Yeah,
that. We
exactly,
want to
exactly.
abide by the
Yeah,
rules. We don't want to do see that's what I mean by and I'm glad you said that. That's what I mean by people here in America can do workarounds and get away with it because officials do workarounds. Everybody, the police do workarounds, but in Saudi Arabia, I
yeah,
think we should not be
yeah,
doing that in other countries. We should not disrespect those other countries because let's look at
exactly.
Brianna, right? Brianna who got locked up for the weed. Um, Brianna, I forgot her name, Brianna, who got locked up
Is it
and got 10
Grinder?
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
Grinding Grinder, right. You know, we gotta look at that as a very valuable lesson. We have to. We can't just brush that off like,
Yeah,
oh well,
exactly. So if it's going to, I think I might be breaking up a bit here. So just my
okay,
apologies for so the laws are there. If you break them, you risk, the penalties, so to speak. Yeah.
right,
But what I
yes,
would say but there are, so on the good side of that, right? When you're there, and I'll talk about this more with, in a rule breaker, you have the opportunity to make a lot of money very quickly, save very
okay,
quickly, and then do what you want to do with your life. After you've finished the time that you want to be there. And
okay,
with the plans that she has, that could be a very useful sort of foundation for her to work from. I don't know, and you get to travel to places that you probably would not have thought of traveling to because you're on that side of the world. Like going to Petra and all different sorts of places. So time
right,
does go really fast like that. But as I say, it's a matter of on the positive side, keeping yourself busy, and
right.
just sort of like keeping in mind the big picture of why you're there.
Well, Empress, let me say this, and I think by what you're saying, a person like myself can go make that money. But I'm past the age where I think, drinking and smoke, all that is fun. I'm past that. Like I don't do none of that. So because it's not fun to me, I don't think it's fun. But some people who are young, and I'm not pointing fingers. You said be focused, go get your money, and I agree with that. But it be the ones who go and they just, well, I just want to have a little fun, and they get caught up in some trouble. So,
Exactly. Yeah,
right. So,
because especially even from the UK, there were many British people who treated Saudi Arabia like they were in Ibiza. They
no,
went there, they ran up bills, then they tried to leave without paying for bills and or the debts that
Wow.
run up. So there are lots of them who do leave, who do give bad, sorry, who do give British people a bit of a bad name because they go over
Right.
there, they're whoring about, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? And all those kind of things, and they
Yes.
don't take any of it seriously. And those are not the ones to follow. If you're going there with like, yeah, you can enjoy yourself. Don't get me wrong, you can enjoy yourself. You have a lot of
Right.
free time because don't forget, you work from 7 till 4.
Okay.
Their week is from the Sunday to Thursday, from 7 till 4, and the rest is your free time, which is a lot of free time. There's plenty of
Okay.
beaches to go to. I mean, there's lots of shopping you can do because some would say there's nothing
Right.
else to do but shop. But
Okay.
but there's lots of activities and groups that you can join. You know, groups where you can go, groups where you can join, travel groups where you can travel. You know, around the world, do different
Right.
things, and it's quite cheap. But
Okay.
yeah, there are those who have gone there and given their home countries a bad name. They've partied hard, they've not worked very well, they've done things they're not supposed to have done. Yeah, definitely
Right.
that happens. And you know what? That affected the type of contracts that people were getting because
Right.
now um, I'm told that people could go there for X amount, as long as you wanted to, basically. But now they're very depending on the field that you're in, I should say. Um, they have cut down the contract, so you could be like on a 2-year contract or a 3-year contract, and that's to make sure that you want to stay because it's a lot of money to bring you out there. Don't forget, isn't it? It's a lot of
Right.
money. You get the housing as well, which is
Okay.
relatively cheap, so you get a lot of benefits with it. So from their perspective, they're thinking, right, they've paid for your flight out there. You've got your repatriation flights out throughout the year, for your holidays, your vacations, blah blah blah. You've got
Okay.
like housing, nice housing. So you do get a lot in the package. So to spoil it by just being drunken and disorderly, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? So yeah, it's a
Yes.
good point. Absolutely, yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. So I just want to, yeah, because I know not only in the
Anyway,
U.S.
I've got
but
to go.
England.
I think I've probably said too much there, but
Oh.
it's a really
Oh, that's
interesting
right.
subject.
You know what?
Yeah, I'll
That's
see
fine.
you. I'll come back. Yeah,
Okay. I'll see you
yeah.
Saturday, babe. Okay.
Yeah, all right then.
All
Enjoy the
right.
stream. Take
Oh,
care, everyone.
take.
Twin, oh, I just want to say hello to Twin and Deacon. I don't know if you're male or female. I don't know if you're woman, male, or whatever, but I just want to say thank you for being in the chat and for your consistent support for the chat and Blackstone stream. I really appreciate that. So that's Deacon
Yes.
and who's the other one?
We got
Twin,
Deacon,
and obviously
Twin.
Twism. I think Twism is that Zanzi? I'm not sure,
That's
but
Zanzi. Yeah, that's
say
Zanzi.
hello
That's
to you
Zanzi. Yeah.
all.
Yep.
Okay, take care,
Yep.
everyone. Bye.
All right. Bye, Empress.
Bye.
Okay, y'all. Okay, y'all. There we have it. Poetic Empress. So yeah, Saturday's gonna be a good show. I can feel it already. So Rue, man, hey, Nature Mom Rue, yeah, let's get ready. Empress is gonna share with her firsthand experience in Saudi Arabia and how the pros and cons. So yeah, let's do this Saturday, y'all. So that'll be Saturday at 2 p.m. my time Eastern. So y'all adjust the time where you're from. Um, I believe me and Empress are 5 hours apart. So Empress, 2 o'clock my time. So put the notification on. And yeah, want to give a shout out to the chat. Shout out to Empress. Shout out to Zanzi. Shout out to Deacon. Shout out to Twin. And shout out to the ones in the clouds. Shout out to the ones in the clouds. All right, y'all. That's it. Like I said, I might do a pop up show that just depending on how I feel. But we definitely have Champions Corner with Trevor and Yanga. And hopefully Asar will join us. And hopefully um, Akmalak will join us. I hope y'all join us. And yeah, it is what it is. Oh, and um, shout out to my first opponent, SBDL, Blue. Ah, Blue. Blue, I hope you come on the panel, man. If not, you do a show, I come on your panel, man. You're one of my favorite debaters, man. So yeah, man. Yeah. I hope SVDL puts a good topic for us, man, because yeah, you're one of my faves, bro. You and Scheme, man. Shout out to the dark side. Oh, and shout out to Miss Beans or Meat. Shout out to Holly. beans or meat. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.